I'm now joined by Rajendra Shendi from UNEP. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell me a bit about your UNEP for a start.
As you know, UNEP, United Nations Environment Programme, is an authoritative voice and a policy advisor to the global environmental issues. My role particularly is to assist the developing countries through policy and technical assistance to get rid of ozone depleting substances. There are 146 developing countries in the world, and to all of them we provide such assistance. That assistance is needed so that the countries comply with the Montreal Protocol. Just like we know there is a Kyoto Protocol where the compliance by the countries is yet to start because there are no firm commitments yet, and whatever the commitments are there, they are far from getting met. Under the Montreal Protocol, the firm commitments have been made and the countries have to comply with it. So through our policy and technical advice, we enable the developing countries to comply with the Montreal Protocol. And many of these ozone depleting substances are also greenhouse gases. In fact, their global warming potential is thousands of times more than carbon dioxide. So in this debate of global warming, these substances, which are also make major contribution to the climate change, get forgotten. And our program focuses the attention that look, it's not only carbon dioxide, but other important man-made gases which make a major contribution to the greenhouse phenomena in global warming. And by eliminating them, we can benefit a lot.
Tell me, it seems like obviously the developing world is one step behind. The developed world, were dealing with these ozone depleting gases a while ago. Isn't the next step now when the developing world increases its energy usage? What are the plans to ensure that carbon doesn't go through the roof when that happens?
I think this is a very important question. I will answer that from the ozone depleting substance point of view. After 2010, once the CFCs and halons are assigned to the history books, we still have a challenge of phasing out one more ozone depleting substance called as HCFCs. No doubt highly technical term, but they are used predominantly in almost all room air conditioners in the world, and also in major skyscrapers and high-rise buildings. The air conditioning is based on HCFCs. And these HCFCs have the global warming potential about 2,000 times more than carbon dioxide. Now, eliminating those HCFCs from the air conditioning definitely provides advantage to mitigate climate change. But apart from that, while phasing out these HCFCs, if we try to improve the energy efficiencies of these air conditioners, then we get much more advantage, because 80% of the impact of air conditioning on global warming comes from its energy use and not from the emission of refrigerant like HCFCs.
Why was it important that UNEP be present at this summit?
Well, it's simply because we would like to say that the carbon dioxide is not the only cause for global warming. There are non-carbon dioxide gases like HFCs, like HCFCs, like PFCs, which are also the global warming gases. And because under the Montreal Protocol we can phase out HCFCs faster, and that agreement has already been reached, the world has an opportunity to take advantage of a low-hanging fruit, that we can get the job done faster. As you know, in Copenhagen we have uncertainty of what kind of negotiations will take place. But here under the Montreal Protocol, negotiations have already taken place. The deal has been sealed. Now we have to take advantage to go faster on that, to get advance in mitigating the climate change. And this is a real opportunity that we have. I call it a convenient opportunity for inconvenient truth. And that's why I'm here.
Wonderful. I couldn't have put it better myself. Rajendra Shendi, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you.